Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Robert Pittenger, the Chairman of the Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum. Esteemed colleagues working in the political and security sphere and government and beyond, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. At the outset, let me just acknowledge our parliamentarians who are here present from the Philippines. We have with us two Deputy Speakers of the House of Representatives, Honorable Antonio Tonipet Albano and the Honorable Raymond Democrito Mendoza, who are here today. It is my great honor to address all of you at this Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum, especially as we focus today on issues of the Indo-Pacific, where discussions on many issues and flashpoints are of great consequence to all of us. The international security sphere has undergone seismic shifts in just the last decade since the PISF has been convened. While the first edition of this forum in 2014 focused on terrorism and unconventional warfare, it has since broadened in scope with the realization that all security threats are interrelated and intertwined. Our comprehensive agenda today and yesterday reflects that reality. Parliamentary cooperation is often a crucial cog in the international cooperation field that is sometimes overlooked. Members of Congress and parliaments or parliamentarians hold the purse strings and control for funds that enable the rest of the government to perform and execute the security agenda. But more importantly, as selected officials, they are the representation of our national priorities, that is, the priorities of our people. I would implore all parliamentarians present here today to reflect on what security means for the everyday person and do their earnest to translate policy discussions such as those we're having today into tangible benefits for the constituencies. For the Philippines, one security issue has been top of mind of all levels. That is the South China Sea. From our president down to our fisher folk and coastal communities, all Filipinos are acutely aware of the dire implications should rising tensions continue unchecked in the most important waterway in the Indo-Pacific region. On this issue, the Philippines' response has been clear and consistent to adhere to and advocate the rule of law and the peaceful settlement of disputes. It is precisely in this spirit that we brought our disputes to the international arbitration amidst the repeated infringements on our sovereignty. As we approach a decade of the 216 arbitral award, we especially emphasize that the award has provided clarity for all of us in terms of the lawful use of the South China Sea, a most vital waterway to all of us here. I urge all of our friends and partners to continue highlighting the arbitral award as final and binding. The Philippines is on the front line of the efforts to defend the rules-based international order in the maritime sphere, specifically in the South China Sea. Our position is firmly anchored on the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or the UNCLOS, as well as the 2016 arbitral award. Allow me to share the various actions that the Philippines has been undertaking to address this illegal, coercive, aggressive, and deceptive actions in the West Philippine Sea by the Chinese. Those of you that have attended my recent speaking engagements will likely know what I'm talking about. But it is also useful, even necessary, that we refrain for us to emphasize that the Philippines is exhausting all possible avenues towards a peaceful settlement. First, through preventive diplomacy and dialogue, we remain proactive with our engagements with China and continue to keep channels open, sustain dialogue at various levels, and seek an atmosphere conducive to sincere and meaningful discussion. It is in this spirit that the understanding between the Philippines and China on the principles and approaches for the conduct of the rotation and resupply missions in the Ayungin Shoal was reached. This understanding was concluded in good faith with the explicit agreement that it would not prejudice national positions. This agreement is also resulted in the conduct of smooth resupply missions in the Ayungin Shoal. Second, through regional engagement with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, we maintain regional engagement with ASEAN and remain engaged in strengthening partnerships with the other claimant states in the context of the Code of Conduct and through bilateral engagements. We are committed to the process of concluding a substantive and effective COC, or Code of Conduct, and more generally, we continue to advocate for ASEAN's centrality in evoking or involving the regional architecture and call for arrangements such as the AUKUS to complement this centrality. Third, through alliances and partnerships with like-minded partners, we could recognize the importance of upholding multilateralism by reinforcing partnerships across the globe. By strengthening ties with like-minded nations and regional organizations, we amplify our call for adherence to international law and to the international rule-based order and countering unilateral actions that undermine legal norms. Fourth, through maritime dialogues and cooperation, we will continue to expand our political consultation mechanisms with countries where we have diplomatic relations, with maritime cooperation, as well as the situation in the South China Sea as a staple agenda items. Fifth, through advancing the UNCLOS and the rule of law in the global ocean management, we seek to broaden the acknowledgement of the arbitral award and the Philippines' position by advancing the rule of the law and underscoring the primacy of the UNCLOS as the comprehensive legal framework for law and order in the seas and the management of the issues and challenges in the oceans. And finally, through public diplomacy and awareness efforts, we pursue broad public diplomacy awareness efforts, mindful that domestic support is the fuel that propels our actions forward. Domestically, we recognize the need to strengthen and upgrade our defense capabilities. Our military modernization program is in full swing, aided, of course, by our main partner and our main ally, the United States. At the same time, noting the inextricable link between security and prosperity, we are implementing a whole-of-government approach to accelerate our economic growth as a complement to our national security efforts. We all know that China is also known for using economic coercion. We definitely are prepared for that. At the same time, noting the inextricable link between security and prosperity, we also want to continue with our efforts for a multilateral approach to the South China Sea issue. I would like to end on the Philippine-United States relations, as I am also, of course, the Philippine ambassador here in Washington for the past 7 years. I personally am in a unique position in that I have already served here under President-elect Trump, having presented my credentials to him in 2017. So I probably am less anxious than many of you, but this is only part of what makes me confident in the future of the Philippines-U.S. relations. We are decades-old partners and friends, with historical ties even further back than our official alliance. We will continue to strengthen and enhance not only our bilateral defense cooperation, but our economic ties as well, cognizant that an economically secure and prosperous Philippines will be a better ally and partner of the United States. Our friendship and partnership will remain a tool for peace, stability, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. Before I conclude, once again, let me invite all of you, as the Honorable Congressman Bittinger said, that we are hosting the next Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum in the Philippines in February of next year. I urge all of you to consider coming to the Philippines. Not only will you see many of the islands that are being built by you-know-who, but you will also have a chance to enjoy the beaches in our country and see the beautiful islands that we have. So thank you very much for your attention, and good morning once again.